try to see what we can do.
Grenade here. I see you, Agent. Ammo! Now they're screwed.
Oh, no way. Yo. So today we're going to be taking a look at the build you guys just saw at the very beginning of this video. And when I tell you guys, holy, this thing is an absolute monster. And we'll have the full build breakdown in this video. Plus I'll have some other gameplay. So let's get right into it. So the one thing you do want to have is the class. The technician class is going to help you improve this build and keep your shield up. But yeah, technician class, what you need for this build. Now the main weapon of this is the Regulus. Yes, this build is built around this weapon. You can use other ones, but this is going to be what you see exploding targets. 789,000 damage, 160 RPM, 6 round mag, pistol and headshot damage. But the talent, headshot kills create a 5-meter explosion, dealing 400% weapon damage and applying bleed to all enemies hit. So that's why this build is built around this. The explosions allow you to put out a lot of damage, taking out more than one enemy at once. If we get into the mask, we are running the punch drunk mask. The mask for all pistol builds, it has 20% pistol damage, it has weapon damage, headshot damage, critical hit chance, and then a headshot damage mod. Exactly how you want this mask. Mine's almost god roll, but yeah, this is exactly what you're looking for this build. For the chest, we have the Chain Killer, another name piece. This is the Walker and Harris name chest piece. We actually have 2 pieces, Walker and Harris, for the weapon damage, damage to armor. Then for the rolls, weapon damage, crit chance, headshot damage, and a headshot damage mod. Now, why this chest is so good is because it has perfect headhunter. After killing an enemy with the headshot, your next weapon hit within 30 seconds deals an additional 150% of that killing blow's damage. Now, the damage is capped at 800% unless you have over 150% headshot damage, and then the cap is bumped up to 1250%. So yeah, a lot of damage with this build and this chest piece alone. And that's why you're able to one-shot those gold enemies like it's nothing, right? Because the cap is so high, because you have so much headshot damage, back-to-back headshots just exploding them. But the build gets even better. So we have a second piece of Walker Harris that gives us that damage to armor. And the rolls on here are weapon damage, critical hit chance, and headshot damage. If you take a look at the knee pads, we have the name knee pads, the Fox Prayer. We have weapon damage, damage to targets out of cover, and then headshot damage. Now we're not really worried about the rifle damage, but we are worried about that 8% damage to targets out of cover, because that multiplicative, and it's gonna allow us to one-shot those named and elite enemies. Another name piece, the Contractor Gloves, weapon damage, damage to armor, and headshot damage. Another multiplicative stat, the 8% damage to armor. You pair that with the 5% on the holster, and you can see where we're starting to get more damage to armor stacked on this build. And what that's gonna allow you to do is, if you're unable to get those headshots to really kill them, well, you're still gonna hit hard enough to eat through their armor. And it might take you just 1 or 2 shots to finish them off if you can't get that full proc headshot that should be able to drop everybody in the game. Look at that. Easy, easy, easy. And the piece that sets this whole build off is the Memento backpack. This gives us weapon damage, armor, skill tier, and then we have a headshot damage mod on here. Now, kill confirmed is the talent that really is the centerpiece. Enemies you kill drop a trophy on death. Collecting these provide a short and long-term buff. So let's talk about the long-term buff. Once you collect 30 trophies, that will put you at max 30% weapon damage, 30% skill efficiency, and 3% armor regeneration. So you're gonna see how much damage we have once we get a regular 30 stack. But every time we pick up a trophy, we have a short term, which is 10 seconds. And that's 5% for every red. And you can see we have 6. So that's additional 30% weapon damage. So just off the backpack alone, I'm gaining, just from the buffs, 60% weapon damage. That's pretty insane. having that 30% at all times and then gaining another 30% on top of that, that's why you can see once you start shooting these enemies, heads just start to pop off. And if you can cluster them together, the amount of damage that you do to all the enemies that are within that 5 meters is pretty insane. As you can see, these guys just disappeared. And if we dive into the stats of our pistol, you're gonna see why this beast hits so hard. So swap over to the pistol, you see that we have 26% crit chance, 45% crit damage, 219% headshot damage, 13% armor damage, plus that 8% damage to targets out of cover. And that's why once you add all those together, start hitting those headshots with chain killer and all those named pieces, you guys can really see. Now for the skills, we are running our artificial hive, and this is because it gives us 30% skill repair. That allows our shield to get healed 36% every time. Now for the shield, we are just running the bulwark shield, and that is going to give us the most damage with this build, and since we're using a pistol, it works really good with it. Now I will tell you that this build is 100% viable on console, as I'm playing on PlayStation 5. And one thing I will tell you, it's been a while since I played with pistols, but I feel like the aim assist is actually really strong on pistols. So like when you do aim in, you can kind of feel it like tugging, and if you aim towards that head, it's easy to really lock on, and that's what I really like. And as long as you guys can pair those headshots back to back and pick up those trophies, there shouldn't be any enemy that you can't finish with the one shot. And if not, well, that bleed should end up killing them. And you saw how fast I cleared the first part of this control point. The one advice I will give you is that if you guys are missing some of those headshots, because say you get a suicide bomber, we have a couple of those and you're gonna see it in a second, and it's a lot easier to just shoot them in the chest, make them explode. Don't worry about it. Just get back in sync, get those headshots rolling. And one thing you should know is this weapon, you can 100% spam it if you need to. If you get in a sticky situation like you saw that I did right there, just start spamming it and then get back on track once you clear them out. But that 100% is the build right there. This build is so much fun, and I know the first thing I'm gonna get is, hey, that's a PC build. Nope, I'm playing it on console and doing perfectly fine. And you're seeing that I'm lining these headshots up. Yes, there was a couple times that I missed a few headshots, but don't stress it. Like I said, just spam the weapon, clear out those enemies, and then you can get right back on track. Because all it takes is one headshot to link the rest of them, and then you should be able to hit those headshots back to back to back. But we're gonna wrap up the video here, guys. Thank you guys again. If you guys could leave a thumbs up if you found the video useful, I definitely would appreciate it. But until the next Division 2 video, nothing but skills is out.